Hi there, I'm James, the Growth Executive, back for this week's Growth Tactics Series email. Now, last week we talked about the pipeline. What does it look like to move deals either from a marketing kind of analysis perspective from left to right and from a salesperson's daily activity from right to left? Remember, we're starting with what we can close quickest when we're talking about what's most immediate to generate cash, right? So sales velocity will take care of that for us. Now, I'll say the art of qualifying leads, because at the end of the day, this is an art and it takes some time to perfect this. So don't beat yourself up. If you don't get this right away, just keep at it. I promise it will come through. One of the best things that happened to me actually in one of my startups was bringing on a senior member of my team who really nailed this. He was an industry expert, had been in the industry for some time, many, many more years than I had, and really understood the dynamics of my marketplace. Right now, also for my customer success person I hired was actually a customer of mine, and I was able to spend countless hours with them, really perfecting and understanding their daily routine. Now, what we discovered without realizing it is we were trying to be all things to all people. We had created some marketing qualifications of like, okay, they need to, they need to have a pulse and fog a mirror. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't that bad. They need to be a nonprofit in the US or Canada. But this individual really helped us think about like not only the type of the tax treatment on the nonprofit, but the size of revenue and whether that revenue was grant money versus, individual contributions, that kind of thing, right? So the more we begin to look at the makeup of the market and then within that makeup, the revenue flow within those customers, we began to get a crystal clarity as to who we could actually move the needle on. And that, my friends, really started like I started preaching, videos back with just looking at where the revenue is flowing from and where our top billings, because I'll be darned if we didn't overlay that later with the data to find that those assumptions were in fact true. Okay, so it is an art and it does take some time, but you can certainly apply some science to it. What we want to do, of course, is begin to understand where we are in the number of opportunities in our pipeline. And that is one of the factors, as you know, within the sales velocity. And that's going to come down to marketing qualified and then later sales qualified. So basically the quality of the leads themselves. Now, here's a resource from this week. I broke down really what I considered the steps, and this comes from HubSpot directly. So I love this resource, and you can go Google this and find other resources on it yourself. In fact, I'll include a link for you, make it a little easier on you. But subscriber, lead, marketing qualified, sales qualified, kind of moving them down the pike from a marketing perspective. And you'll recognize this from a previous video and what we call the funnel. Now, once we start to look at those, there's certain behaviors and activities that people are taking in my marketing channels and in my sales process that are signaling intent. Are they, in fact, downloading a lead magnet on a particular kind of pain? If so, that should inform the conversation that we're having in sales. Are they a decision maker? Of course, that will inform how we move forward with that individual, or do we loop in more people, that kind of thing. All right. So what we want to do here is really work to qualify and marketing qualify and then eventually sales qualify. Now, I do want to clarify this. If your annual contract value is less than $10,000, okay, you're selling software, for example, in a subscription model, and it's less than 10,000 ACV, then just focus on collapsing marketing qualified and sales qualified. Yes, I know there's a distinction, but at the end of the day, it's really just one or two more questions you're asking. Are you the right buyer? And are you looking to buy, right? Are you the right person to make a decision? Is that decision maker buy-in, or are you the decision maker? And then what does it look like for you to make a decision in your organization to purchase the software, right? So it doesn't have to be long and drawn out, right? So sales qualified, pretty straightforward. Are you the decision maker? Marketing qualified is what we're talking about here. And that is, where is our ideal revenue coming from? And this ties, my friend, back into the ideal customer profile, ICP. Who is my customer? What are the key motivations? Again, the more you can nail this stuff up front, the more movement you will have, not only in marketing, but in sales, actually getting people over the line. Yes, you solve a lot of problems for a lot of people, but solve specific problems for specific people and be very, very clear on the next step. And that'll move the needle on your sales velocity. I'm James with the Growth Executive. Scan the QR code to reply to this email. Happy to walk you through any questions you might have. And I appreciate the time. Have a great day.